Special thank you to our sponsors of Russ Reels Live, D. Scott Smith and Networking for Students, the Alzheimer's Association, and Lincoln Media Group.
Networking for Students, now available on Amazon. dscottsmith.com/students. Order a copy for your student or the graduate in your life.
And for more information on how to give to the Alzheimer's Association and support the fight against Alzheimer's, go to alz.org. And finally, for more information on Michael Holt and Lincoln Media Group and how to gain more visibility for your business, go to lincolnmediagroup.com. Ta-da! Welcome to Russ Reels Live, everybody. 4 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time on the West Coast here. We are here every Thursday for your listening and viewing pleasure, and I'm so glad that you've joined us today. It has been an amazing day for me. It's been a busy day. Lots going on, lots of live streaming today, and just love all my friends that I get to chat with. It's just awesome, and I have some amazing friends with me today as we continue to talk about abundance and this positive perspective on life. And we're just going to talk a little bit about that today. But first, just want to remind you, we're here every week, Thursday, 4 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time on Russ Reels Live. And I love to connect with you. So if you have not connected with me, I wish you would. And there's an easy way to do that. Just go to russhedge.com. There you go. russhedge.com is a place to connect with me. And also would love it if you would join our YouTube page and actually subscribe to that today. And I was putting up the wrong one as I was talking about it. So we'll actually get the right one. There we go. Go to russreels.live, russreels.live to subscribe to YouTube today. And I just got to get my life all here in order. So anyway, it's just a blessing to be here today. You know, I have some amazing, amazing friends that make me look good. And I'm just blessed today. Just very thankful to have this discussion with them, and also thankful that you're here. So engage today, okay? Get involved in the comments. Start talking to us. Start talking to each other. Just engage today. It's a great place to build community, right? And this is all about connection and community building. That is what I'm all about. And we come up with these amazing topics. You know, Russ Reels Live every week is we pick an amazing topic and an amazing panel, and then we go at it. And it's just a lot of fun. It's a great place to really get some good value. And if you've missed and never seen Russ Reels Live before, you can just go to russreels.live, go to my YouTube page, and binge Russ Reels Live this weekend. Forget Netflix, forget Prime, just go straight to Russ Reels Live. There you go. That's your weekend. So if you didn't have any plans, I've just made it all up for you. There you go. So anyway, I am, again, so grateful you're here. And you know what? I am just going to really get things rolling today because I could be talking about books and about all kinds of other things, but just go to russhedge.com and find out all about me. We're going to start by getting the ladies in the room. So my good friend Bob reminded me, don't forget, you got to get the ladies in first. So there you go. And so Ingor thought she was going to be in first, but Tracy was the last one here. So she's coming in first. And she's laughing, and Ingrid's giving me thumbs up. There you go. Hey, Tracy.
Hey, Russ. I don't know if I've ever come in first. I'm feeling very special today.
That is you should be honored. No, but you know, it's funny, of all the shows that you've been on, you've never been on first, really? Wow.
I mean, I've been on a lot of your shows, so I could be wrong.
Well, how in the world are you doing?
I am doing well. I'm very excited about the show because there's like so many of my friends are on this panel, and abundance is one of my favorite things to talk about, along with authenticity and how the two go together. And I'm always happy to be here with you, sharing your energy, my friend.
Wow, you're so awesome. So why don't you, I'm sure everybody already knows you, but just in case there's one or two that don't, who is Tracy Borreson? What are you up to?
Hey everybody, I am Tracy Borreson. I am all about authenticity. So, I mean, it's funny, I was having a conversation with someone I reached out to on LinkedIn the other day, and they were saying like, oh, this is like a really nice way to meet people. And I'm like, well, I like try to drink my own Kool-Aid, be authentic. And I believe that I believe that authenticity is a skill. I believe it's a journey. I believe it's available in our personal lives, in our professional lives, in marketing, which is where I focus my business work. But it isn't available anywhere if we don't have a conversation about it, and nor is abundance. So that's why I'm always so happy to be here with my peeps talking abundance.
There you go. Well, and I think that it's interesting. We're going to get deeper into this whole topic, but the way you think and the perspective you have on life, I think people really underestimate what that does to everything that happens in your life. But we'll get deeper into that. And next, we're going to get Ingor in the room. She's waiting. She loves video. Here she comes. Woohoo!
Sure.
How's it going, Ingor?
Happy Thursday. Good to be here. How are you, Russ?
I am very good. Thank you. It's so nice to be here with my friends too, just like Tracy said. And
yes.
So for the one person in this audience that doesn't know you, who is Ingor Van Rooi and what are you up to?
Well, let me say Ingor Van Rooi is a community connection catalyst. I have roots in South Africa, but I live in Canada. And I'm all about community. I believe in the power of Ubuntu, which means I am because we are. And I wouldn't be the person that I am today had I not met Russ or Tracy or even Bob and Scott in the green room. So thank you for inviting me. It's good to be here.
Yeah, well, I'm sure that, now, thank you for saying that. That was lovely, but I wouldn't be here without Scott. And so we're going to bring him in next because, poor Bob's going to have to wait till last, but Scott inspired so much that I do. So Scott, how you doing, buddy?
I am good. Look at this. Look at this right there.
There you go.
There's a pair of mugs on a mug.
The merch.
That's right. Hey, I tell you, those are nice mugs too, if I don't say so myself, even though I had them made.
Yeah, thank you to Ever for creating these just stunning images that go out. And we even got KWIL 790 AM.
Our
one of the
flagship
two
station
that we're broadcast on now, Russ.
Yeah.
One of two.
Yes, we've hit the big time with radio. So Scott, you are like an open book to me. You're one of my best friends. You're amazing. But for those one or two people that don't know you, who is D. Scott Smith? What is the D and what are you up to?
Well, I'd be happy to meet one or two more people. So
there you go.
I think Bob would have said that Scott is an international mystery of a man. So I'm fortunate that I get to host co-host two shows with Russ, which is the Experience Local, our newest show, which is broadcast on two different radio stations, which is just fabulous. Not new for Ingor. She is an old hand at that, but we're happy to be there. And then we have the Experience on Wednesday. And we have had just so much fun. We've been doing that show for 3.5 years now. So plenty of episodes, plenty of fabulous people. And as we say, we always have the most remarkable people on the planet there. The big news for me and my family is that we are moving to Waco, Texas. So I announced that, I think, to many people on the Global Tea Break last week, which we have on the third Friday of the month, international networking, globalteabreak.com. Join Alan Hennessy and myself there for just a lot of fun and a lot of inspiration, and a lot of business has been happening out of that. It's just crazy to see the partnerships that go on. And down in Waco, looking at starting another talk show down there, highlighting leaders in business, government, and nonprofits who all come together to do the same thing, make their communities nice, but with different tools. And so that's going to be a new show coming up.
Very awesome. Very awesome.
I have a very important question. Are you going to have Chip and Joanna Gaines reno a house for you in Waco, Texas? And if you meet them, I want to meet them. Just putting it out there.
Yeah, we were down in Waco at the silos, and Joanna Gaines' mother went by, and immediately Christine recognized her and greeted her. So that's as close as we've come. So
I'm a fan.
So far.
Yep.
So far.
Oh yeah. I think everybody is pretty much, and even Bob, who's coming in next. Here he is. Hey
there he
Bob,
is.
how's it going?
The man of the hour.
Yes, and Bob, I think he's kidding us,
so
but we can't hear him.
soft-spoken. I love that about Bob.
Yeah, don't forget you're muted there, Bob, and it's all good. But that looked very good.
Oh my gosh, I'm muted. What an amateur. What a rookie. Anyway, please, you just keep talking. You don't need me. I'll stay backstage. It's fine.
So, Bob, it's so great to have you upstage here and joining us. Thank you for that. Tell everybody, who is Bob and what are you up to?
I have one important thing to say, and that is our teenage son graduated high school.
Woohoo! There you go.
He's attending UMass Amherst computer engineering program this fall. Everything else, who cares?
Everything else doesn't matter, right?
Bob, everyone. Bob.
Yeah, that's it.
There you go. It's just Bob. There you go. Well, that's all he's saying.
It's been nice speaking with you, and
I'm
hope
done.
to see you again
I'll go
soon.
backstage again. I'll just listen in and comment. It's good.
Well, Bob, we're going to start with you and let you keep talking. This whole thing, we've been able to do a couple other shows with this group, and minus a couple that we've really been talking about. This whole abundance versus scarcity, this whole idea of your perspective on life and how that affects everything. Start us off for tonight.
So I'm going to start us off with another, because we've always talked about different things. We've been going through a lot of, I think we've had 4 shows. I can't even remember. I've lost track. Because we've been having this great conversation. We just can't stop talking about it. So we just keep having more shows. But I'm going to start with, sometimes to move forward, you need to look backwards. And conceptually, what I'm talking about is this idea of reflection, and not kind of the reflection of like, oh, I'm going to be bemoaning what happened in the past, but more this idea of thinking about things you've done that went really well, or even things that didn't go well, but just trying to visualize some of the things that why they went well. Like, what happened that went well? Like, what did I do, or how did I react, or what was I thinking about, or how did I interact with people? Like, what are the things I was doing that made that go well? Why did I think it went well? And just kind of taking, like, even writing some notes about when I did this thing, I really felt good because this happened, or this happened, or if something bad happened, kind of reflecting again, like the idea of you have to learn from mistakes, right? This whole idea of, there's that graphic they show, which is theory is, this much, like you learn this much from theory, and you learn this much from doing, and then you learn this much from failure or mistakes, right? So it's that same idea of also thinking back, like, that didn't go well, but why didn't it go well? Like, what things did happen? And just kind of, again, not like digging to dig the dirt in or be depressed about it, but just kind of going like, here's some things, like taking stock into it, and then going like, oh yes, I remember I did this preparation, or I did this thing, or I thought this way, or I started this way. And then kind of be mindful of that the next time you enter one of those things, right? To kind of, again, create that mindset for yourself, creating those tool set for things like, when things go well for me, I know I need to be here, or doing this, or thinking this way, or doing things ahead of time, right? We're kind of building up that toolkit we talked about in some of the prior episodes, of that idea of, again, this abundance mindset. And some of it is, it's like Tracy talked about earlier, it's some of this is learned behavior. So in order to learn that, you have to kind of sometimes look backwards. So again, looking backwards and having reflection is a good place to start.
I love that. Tracy, pick it up from there.
Okay, because I love this. And the thing it makes me think is about having curiosity, right? And so a lot of times, especially for new in the like practicing mindset and self-awareness types of skills arena, we can feel really guilty about these types of things when we look back and we made a mistake, or we had a quote unquote failure, and we can feel a lot of emotions attached to looking back. And so one of the things I love about curiosity is that it allows us to create a space between the experience and our emotion of the experience. So it's not about not having an emotion associated with one of those experiences that we're looking back on, but it is about creating a space where I can appreciate that I had an emotion about that thing. And I might even, when I look back on it, still kind of feel that emotion, but it allows me to be curious about why I felt that emotion and what made me feel like I needed to defend myself, or what made me feel like I failed, or what made me feel XYZ. And that's something that I've had a lot of success with, this concept of curiosity and just allowing myself to be curious and not to, I don't want to say like we're avoiding responsibility or anything here, but it takes a little bit out of that and like, oh, I'm responsible for that. I need to do this. I need to take this. I need to do something else to correct what I did. It allows you just to say like, okay, that happened. Why did that happen? Why did I feel that way? And how can I just like take that one level deeper, allowing myself to be curious about myself before, or even like, if you feel guilty, that's okay. But then notice, if you feel guilty, get curious about like, why am I feeling guilty? There's like so many layers of curious that we can go. It's actually infinite. And I think once you can find a way to make that fun, then you're like in the game. Right now, you're just like having fun with learning about what worked and what didn't. And then there's just, I don't know. I don't even know. The future is. I'm trying. What's coming out of my mouth is the future is your oyster, but that's not like the right thing.
That's all good. It all sounds good.
Someone wants to complete that in the correct way, go for it.
Well, that is so. Well, I love the curiosity thing, and you talking about how many layers, because this is all about. There's so much out there. We really live an abundant life, right, Ingor?
Yes, we sure do. So to pick up from what you guys said, I want to ask a question. Has anybody ever eaten cherry pie? Okay, so I'm not talking about maraschino cherries. I'm talking about the real deal. So when you eat cherry pie, you will often find that there are seeds or pips in them, right? In it. And so you eat it. And do you swallow the seed? No. You spit it out. And that's exactly what it is what it should be in our approach to life. You take the good with the bad. And you don't carry the bad with you, but you move forward, remembering the lessons, but really just moving forward and enjoying your cherry pie still. Not turning back and saying, oh, I'll never eat cherry pie again. But now you're going to be more cognizant of it. And you're going to look out for those seeds or those pips. I want to answer, Bob, with regards to what you said, Bob. There's a quote that I actually I made, and it's, we build our tomorrows with the bricks we made yesterday.
That's right? A good one.
Thank you. And I think it's self-explanatory. And then when I, also in response to what Tracy said, we have a friend, Gail Robertson, that she speaks about curiosity a lot. And she's the most curious person I know. But I want to say that, a quote that she loves, it's by Walt Whitman, and it says, be curious, not judgmental. And a lot of the time, we as people, we listen to that quote and we apply it to others. But what we also need to do is apply it to ourselves.
Yeah, that is so good. That's so good. Well, Scott, pick it up from there.
And I've been hanging around with Bob too much. Forgot to turn the mute back off, I tell you. Well, they say you are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Bob, thanks for rubbing off on me. All right. Anyway. Walt Whitman. I have learned to be with those I like is enough. That's one of those quotes that I picked up when I was a child because someone had it on a little plaque that was in the window of their kitchen. So You never know where things are going to come from. This is a great time of year because there's a lot of transitions that are happening. Students are graduating, they're looking for jobs, they're getting hired, they're moving out of dorm life or apartment life, all these different things at this time of year. And a few years back, I was at a networking event, and beautiful day in May, a couple hundred people in the room, and there was a student from the local university, Western Oregon, who was getting ready to graduate, and just a few weeks at the time. And she said, "I can't wait to graduate," because understandably, she wanted to get on with her future and apply all the stuff that she learned. But it was like, my comment was, it's a beautiful day. You're here in this room with this, a really nice room with some really great people, have wonderful conversations. Is today not enough? And so we're constantly either looking forward to things that are going to happen, and that's fine to an extent. And we're also looking back and remembering good things, or glad that some things are over. But we need to learn to be satisfied with where we're at, right? We don't want to wish that I was younger. We don't want to wish that I was older. We want to enjoy where we're at today. And and so for me, that's a key thing. And as I mentioned, I get through some projects here, and it'll probably be moving as the next big project. But to finish up the book Reluctant Time Traveler, the subtitle on that is Why We Are Notoriously Dissatisfied.
That is an amazing title. And since you came up with the title for my next book too, you're good at that. So, Bob, as you've been resting again, off screen almost, where do we go from here? Is your mic on?
Yes. All right. I got that rookie stuff out of the way. I'm good.
Okay. Take it away.
I really, it's funny. Scott's talking about this idea, this being present, which is really part of what we've been talking about all along with the abundance mindset, is that whole idea of presence, of taking that moment and being in the moment. And it's funny, someone said about dissatisfaction to me recently, and I said, why? I'm not dissatisfied. I'm enjoying what's happening right now. But I do, like Scott said, I do look forward to things, right? I'm a planner. I'm a project manager. So I'm a planner. So I'm always planning. And the reason I'm planning is because there is this sense we are busy, right? Life is passing us by. And, you see that person, and I think we talked about it before, but the idea of, you see that person and you see them in person, you're like, I haven't seen you. It's so good to see you. Like, there's that moment, right? That joy of seeing that person you haven't seen in a while. And then you start catching up a little bit briefly, and you're like, we need to catch up more. And they go, and you just kind of go, yeah. And then that's it. I'm the guy who says, when? Let's catch up when. And I know that you have kids, I have kids, whatever it is. And you go like, let's put something in the calendar. When can you do it? Oh, well, I've got Russ Hedge Live. I got this thing. I got that thing. I got this. How about 2 months from now? And people think that's insane. Why do you do that? Because this person's important to me. And I want to see them. And I want to spend more time with them. And I want to be present and have that time not just be passing fleetingly by. So I make that plan. And now it's there. Now I move on. And now I just go back to what I'm doing or being the present. But anyway, being present, but also looking forward. These are all good things. And then kind of looking backwards in a way that's like when someone says, what did you do last weekend? Oh, let me tell you, I had this dinner with these friends. And, so there's this, you can kind of find the joy in all those moments. And, right? And don't be like, I had to be present and not think about the past. I can be present and still think about what's going to happen. Like, oh, by the way, I saw so-and-so, we're going to get together next month. These are all good things. But It's that idea of taking all those elements and always just incorporating them, just incorporating into that kind of that mindset.
So I just love that, Bob. I mean, really, the whole idea of being present is something I have to work on all the time because I want to enjoy every moment of life. And through all that, my last couple of years of life have made it more evident to me how important it is to cherish and just to be present every moment and enjoy it. And, when you talked about going back to move forward, I think it's important to learn from things we go through. I'm a person that kind of self-analyzes a little bit in a good way. I'll do something and then I'll say, like, if I go make a sales call on somebody, I'll walk out and I'll think, oh, what did I that was pretty good what I did here. And yeah, that wasn't so good over there. And I just kind of do that thinking I need to adjust next time I go in. The good things I did, that was really awesome. And the other things, not so great, but I can work on that, But I also think for the joy. Oh, go ahead, Bob.
I want to tell you one small thing about that, which just kind of makes me laugh because, again, as a planner, is I will be with my friends, like my brothers. We have this brothers weekend thing, right? And we'll have this moment where we're together and we've been planning for it, thinking about it, and then we're in it and I'm loving it and I'm enjoying it. And there's this little kernel of me thinking, like, when we do this next year, I'm going to make sure we do that. Like, I literally am like going like, this is amazing and I'm loving this moment, but I know I can do it better next time by doing something. And I'll kind of, in my mind, the project planner's like, oh, like continuous improvement, like that continuous improvement mindset. And I am enjoying the moment. I'm not thinking like, oh, this is terrible. But I do have that kernel of like, I know I could do this better next time if we did this. So I just funny you said that because it kind of makes
that is great. I do not have that project planner in my mind. I just am I'm kind of the free flowing, just crazy guy. And the other thing that you said that I wanted to mention too, though, was I'm just like you. Things are important. And if you want people to feel like they're important and all that, I take care of things right away. I'm always like, let's get it on the calendar. Let's get Scott knows, especially, and all of you guys. I mean, if I'm going to do something, I say, hey, let's put it on the calendar. I don't care if it's 2 or 3 months out. I want to get it down because everything's going to get busy. I'm going to forget about it. We're not going to get it on the calendar. All those things are going to happen, especially when we all get together. It makes it more difficult. But one other point I was going to make, Tracy, and then I'm handing it over to you, is the whole comment about looking back, I think it's important to plan. I think it's important to be present, be in the moment and all those things. But sometimes it also brings joy. My family whisked me away for my 60th birthday. I'm 60 years young now. And yes, woohoo. And had such an amazing time. And I was just going through my phone, looking at the pictures. And sometimes we just need to take a moment, rest our brain, and think to ourselves, I am so flippin' blessed. This is amazing life that I have. Because I think what that does is it brings encouragement and inspiration to move forward and do it even better. Just like you said, right, Tracy?
Well, and I don't think as a human race we're particularly good at like taking those breaks. And there's a lot in society that encourages us to into the hustle culture and be productive and be efficient and be effective. And there's so much joy that can be found in those little moments. And one of the things, we spent a month in Europe over the summer and we came home and my son is 6. And so he did a daily journal of the things that were the most important to him that day. So it was really interesting for me to see like, what did I like that day versus what did he like that day? Because it's not necessarily the same, but going back and taking that time to say like, oh yeah, this was something that was like so awesome and so memorable for me. It allows you to help build up that memory repertoire so that you can access it more easily, because in life there's hard stuff, right? There's hard stuff that comes up. There's health struggles that come up. There's family stuff that comes up. And we're most of the time not prepared for it. And being able to have that repertoire of memories, of joy, of thoughts that allow us to bring ourselves back to the present and just be able to tap into that abundance, I think is so important. And one of the things that came up for me when Bob was sharing just now too, is that I was out for dinner with my parents yesterday, and my mom was like, oh man, it's already almost July. Like, time just goes by so fast now, and we're getting older faster was the phrase that she used. And I was like, whoa, that's not true. We are getting older at the same speed that we always got older at. And so the speed at which my mom is getting older is actually the same speed at which my son is getting older. But it was just really interesting to look at some of these things. And I think this is what we think. As we get older, time seems to go faster. But at the same time, if you flip the narrative of that and just be like, well, actually, no, it's not. Remember all that time we felt like we had as kids in summer vacation, and summer vacation was just like epically long and actually gave us a good relaxation and things like that. We actually still have that, right? We have all that same amount of time. So how do we create the permission for ourselves to have that, to see that, and to appreciate that we have that? I think there's a big opportunity there.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And, I think Scott had this whole theory on time, don't you, Scott?
That's it's actually that's actually the basis of Reluctant Time Traveler. So let me just, Tracy, kind of give you an opportunity to share something with your mother. If you are a certain distance from, say, a building, maybe you're 100 yards away from that building, and you hold your fingers out and you look at that building, it's going to be this big, right? And then physically, and this is just some mathematics that works. If you move half the distance to that building, right? You go from 100 yards to 50 yards, it's going to double in size. That building is going to double in size from your perspective, right? For it to double in size again, you only need to move 25 yards closer, right? 50 yards the first time, 25 yards, so forth, right? Now, if you move at a constant rate of speed, it will appear as if the building is getting bigger faster, right? That's one of the bases of time, right? So the moment we're born, time is infinite. The moment we die, time is infinitesimal, right? It's over. And as we go and travel along that line, time moves at a constant rate. But what does it feel like? It feels like it's getting longer, or it's getting shorter, right? That the time is getting shorter. And but think of it in relation to that physical move. And I actually have some math that goes with this, so you can compare what does time feel like when you're 10 years old compared to when you're 70 years old. And the delta between the two relates to our sense of urgency. So when my son was 18 years old and graduating, and I say, oh, you need to do this, time feels like about 1.8 for him based on the math. And we can look at that another day, which means, and for me at age 60 at the time, then time would be like 0.7. So we have, I'm thinking it's about 3 weeks for this month. That's what it feels like. He's feeling like it's almost 8 weeks. So we have a 5-week delta in our perception of available time. So, yeah. But the bottom line is again, this is something that's a shared experience as we get older. We do all have the same amount of time, but the way it feels is different. So we can have an opportunity to talk about that another time on detail.
Well, Scott's the deep one of the two of us, and he always gets into this. But Ingor, I'm just going to let you launch off of time and perception. Go for it. You can take that wherever you want, by the way.
Yes, that's fine. I was just thinking about something when everyone was speaking, and I was reminded of a time when I was quite a bit younger. I was 20 years old, and I was sitting around a table with some people, and it was New Year's Day. And everybody was going around the table saying, what they're thankful for. And then also, where do they see themselves in 5 years or 10 years? And I remember, what everybody was saying, everyone was thinking about what they would like to do, the things that they'd like to accomplish, etc. And it came to my turn. And I was very sincere in what I said. I said, for me, in 5 or 10 years from now, I'd like to be happy. And the reason why I said that was because I look at it like this: regardless of what I'm doing, I want to be happy or content in the moment, not thinking about the next thing that I need to do in order to make me happy. Because a lot of the time, we as people, we look to the future thinking that this is going to make us happy. Whatever we're doing or going to do or planning to do is going to make us happy. But something can happen and then it doesn't, then you don't, it kiboshes your entire plan, right? And that's the thing. That's why we need to be present in the moment and be content with where we are, because tomorrow is not promised for anyone.
That is so true. That's so true. I was having a conversation with somebody earlier about that exact thing. And when my family asked if they could whisk me off to Hawaii for my 60th birthday, I said, sure. I said, it sounds great to me. I said, I don't know if I'll be here next year anyway, so we better go do it. And they're like, stop that. I said, no, I mean, we don't know. We don't know. We're not guaranteed tomorrow. And Bob, as we roll into our last round here, I want you to give everybody kind of your golden nugget of our conversation today, but how people get in touch with you too. And I'll let you start things off here. Start to end.
Yeah. So, when we kind of this idea of time, being present, and, then I was talking about planning. So here's within the context of what Ingor is talking about. It's that concept, right, of being present. And within the constructs of that, it's this idea, right, of, so let's take it in the backside. Like I have this thing coming up, right? So I'm thinking about it and I'm thinking about what's going to happen, right? But the idea is being open to what's going to happen, right? So the idea of kind of releasing yourself of, it's just, I know the moment's going to happen. I mean, I'm going to be with this person or be in this place or do this thing, but not set expectations, just the expectations. I just know I'm going to be there. And then when I'm there, just allowing that moment to happen and be happy with whatever is happening, right? This is the abundance mindset. This idea of being free of this, if this, and these things don't happen, then I'm going to be unhappy that it didn't happen the way I planned it to happen, right? So this idea, if you want to have a construct of the plan, but not be so rigid inside of it that if all those things don't happen, that you'll be unhappy, or that you'll that it won't happen for you. So again, this is something I had to learn. It's a learned activity that I had to learn over time, which was I liked the plan. I was happy to have this plan, happy to see the people or do the things I was going to do, but then release myself to just be in the moment when it was happening and not be like, it's too bad we didn't do that because I really wanted to do that. Just whatever happens, and enjoy that moment. And then back to the thing I said to you is, if there are some things that I know I could do better next time, then maybe I'll do it better next time. But again, this idea of being present is so crucial to me. It's just always so important. And I try to just practice it every day, which is just that being there. When I'm at the office with my colleagues and they're talking to me, I'm looking at them and listening to them. I'm not looking at my computer. I'm not looking at my phone. I'm not looking at Slack. I'm looking at them and listening to them, to what they have to say to me in that moment. And that's the thing you have to practice the most, is just stop. Just listen to whatever's happening to you. That person's talking to you, and take that time and listen to them. And then we'll move to the next thing. So being present, that's the nugget. I mean, we've been talking about it for months now, but that's the essence, is taking that moment and just enjoying it, just being there and enjoying what it is.
Absolutely. And how people get in touch with you, Bob?
LinkedIn, it's right there. There's my email, my Instagram. Instagram is all the fun stuff. You want the Instagram's all the food. Ingor will tell you, all the stuff I'm cooking and where I'm going, and if I'm at the baseball game or seeing music or all the fun stuff. So you want to go to Instagram and see all the fun stuff, that's where you go.
There you go. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Bob. Appreciate that. And next up, Tracy, take it away.
So I want to continue going on this being present thing, because one of the things that came up for me when Bob was sharing was that when we plan out these things, and I think sometimes people think that abundance is having all of those things delivered, right? So I planned all those things, and then all of those things manifest exactly how I planned them to manifest, and then that will be abundance. But the thing about life is that it's intangible, it's unpredictable, it's uncertain, and when we create those types of plans, we don't know what exists in the future. And a lot of times, if we had those plans delivered on, it might actually feel less abundant. And so there's a possibility. I love to talk about abundance from a possibility perspective, because I feel like once the world is at a place where like anything is possible and possibilities are abundant, then everything feels abundant. But when we look at the things that might not be delivered the way we thought they were going to be delivered, and we include them in our abundance, then this allows us to have the full gamut of human experience. Abundance isn't just a plate full of good stuff. Abundance is a plate full of everything. And like, just like I make my son eat his vegetables, right? Like, maybe you don't like the vegetables as much as you like the dessert, but abundance is about having all of the things, and we end up being a healthy human because we have all of the things, not because we only have one group of emotions: happiness, joy, peace, calm. It's because we have all of the things. And when we can look at, again, those things that maybe haven't been delivered the way we hoped or the way that we planned, and we include them in our abundance, and things that we've learned, things that we have become, things that we can become, then this is what allows us to like really create the possibilities of continued abundance and appreciate what we have in the present moment, because we got all of this, even though maybe we had not planned on getting all of this.
There you go.
So that's me for today, and that's me. All my information. Connect with me on LinkedIn. I hang out on LinkedIn. I don't do anything interesting on Instagram. I don't think my Instagram is on there, but like I only do interesting things on LinkedIn. So come and connect with me on LinkedIn. That's where I hang out.
There you go. All right. Well, Ingor, we're going to let you take it from there. Interesting things on LinkedIn. There you go.
You know, as Tracy was speaking, I was thinking about this. Is a mountain really a mountain without a valley? No. Can we experience the fullness of joy without experiencing sorrow? No. Right? 2 quotes for you guys. The first one is by Alan Cohen, and he says, "Abundance is not a number or acquisition. It is the simple recognition of enoughness." I thought of you, Tracy, when I found this quote. And the next one is by Wayne Dyer, and he says, "Abundance is not something we acquire. It is something we tune into." So people think abundance is having all these things: wealth, money, all the assets you can dream of. But is it really? That's what I want to leave you with. Think about that question. Thank you. And you can find me on LinkedIn. That's the best place to find me. And if you really want, you can Google me and you'll find all the links that you want. But the most interesting things happen on LinkedIn.
Oh, that's so true, isn't it, Scott, as you wrap things up for today?
So you can follow me on Instagram, d.scottsmith, especially if you don't want to be overwhelmed with content. I am happy to not overwhelm you with content on Instagram. But you can go to my website. You can find my X account, which I think is going to be my X account at some point, because I loved Twitter. I liked Twitter 140, right? When there was 140 characters, and that included the names of all the people and the hashtags that you put in there, and there were no pictures. That was more fun. That was a much better time. But we're not talking about Twitter or X. But dscottsmith.com, that's the website. You can find me there. And LinkedIn, that's probably the most happening place. I heard that interesting things happen on LinkedIn. So I encourage you, go over there and hang around. I just put a post out about some AI thoughts that I had, or thoughts on AI, because we used to Google ourselves. Try finding yourself through what ChatGPT has to say about you. Look up Ingor Van Rooi or Tracy Borreson, or even Bob Feathers. And see
my
what
favorite one for that is actually Perplexity. Try looking up who is Tracy Borreson on Perplexity.
It's a new thing to do, but here's the deal. And this is based on research. We underestimate how much we're going to change into the future. So if you look out some period of time, 1, 3, 5 years, whatever, there's the research is called the end of history illusion, because we believe that we've evolved to who we're going to be, that in 3 or 5 years, I'm still going to live in the same place, eat the same restaurants, have the same food, enjoy the same hobbies. But if we look back over that 1, 3, or 5 years, we can see how much we've changed, and we can document that really well. The problem is that 3 or 5 years ago, standing at that point, looking forward, we also said we're not going to change very much. And yet we did change a lot. So the problem with that is that for the last 3 or 5 years, all of the changes that I have gone through have been unintentional. And Russ talks about being intentional. So take control of your life. Don't just be a balloon with no string that's just blowing down the street and it's going to go, I don't know where it's going to go, but it's probably going to pop. And it's not going to be having fun while it's on that journey. So I recommend that you set long-term goals for yourself 3 years out in 6 areas: personal, professional, your relationships, your business relationships, your spiritual life, and your financial life. But what you're going to do is write one sentence about who you want to be 3 years from now. Who do I want to be relationally, right? With my spouse, with my friends, with my children, with their spouses. Where do I want to be spiritually 5 years from now? Who do I want to be? Write those things down. And then as you're going through your day and through your life, and you get up tomorrow morning and you look at your calendar and you look at the things that are on there, if they support who you're going to be 3 years from now, you've done good. If those things are not supporting who you want to be, then don't do them.
Very good. Very good. Great way to end it out, Scott. Really, we do need to think. We do need to be intentional. We need to be present. And we need to love every moment that God has gifted us in this life. And you all have made this last hour amazing. I appreciate you. And we're going to say it again.
And it's flown by this hour.
It does fly by, yeah.
You know why we're on time, though? Noopy's not here, just making us laugh. We love Noopy, but he has a tendency to kind of.
It's true.
Why do you think we're doing 4 or 5 shows? Because Noopy's been on the third. We gotta add extra shows just to.
There you go. But it's so fun. I think we're doing more shows because we all enjoy chatting with each other. And you know what? I think it is a blessing to intentionally spend time in your life with the people that you care about. I care about all of you. Thank you for being here. And I'm going to end the show with all of you on the screen today because it's been great. I appreciate everybody for being here. Remember, Russ Reels Live is every Thursday, 4 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. And it sits on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. If you missed the show today, go back and watch. There'll probably be another one coming up. Who knows? So anyway, it's been a blessing. Until we see you again, have a great day and a great life. See you, everybody. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Cheers.